Good evening, folks, and welcome to another episode of When I Became a Gator. I'm your host, Phillip Cheng, and we have a special guest tonight. Her name is Bowie Oliveira, a proud graduate of the class of 2010. Welcome, Bowie, to the show.
Thanks, Philip. Thanks for having me on your show. This is awesome.
Thank you for joining. Bowie, could you tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what you studied, and what you did after college?
Sure. So I am your typical Floridian. I've been in Florida all my life. And so a little bit about my background and time at UF is I actually attended Circle when I was in high school through my friend Ricky. He
Mhm.
told me about it and I thought it was so cool. So I did become involved in Circle when I got to UF and also did a little bit of, I had a little bit of involvement in Kaleidoscope as well. So shout out to Majel.
Mhm.
And a big part of my UF career or a thing that I'm most proud of really is becoming a founding member of Alpha Kappa Delta Phi. And I studied in the College of Journalism and Communications. I majored in public relations and I minored actually in Asian and Asian American literature. I don't even remember what it's called anymore.
Mhm.
But I also did that in business. And then later in after UF, I also got a finance degree at FIU. And I worked at the casino for a few years. And if you want a fun job, go work at the casino. Uh, I was a casino host, and they basically go around and try to get you to come back to the casino. So it's
Mhm.
very addicting and fun. And then I became a marketing manager for the parent company is Hard Rock, but I was at a sister property, and that was really fun. I was in charge of the marketing calendar for the whole year, promotions and special events. Then I met my husband, and I moved to downtown Miami, and this is where I fell in love with real estate. So this is what I did after that. I became engulfed in real estate. I love it. I've been a realtor since 2016, so 6 years after I graduated. And then right now I'm incoming president of ARIA for the Miami chapter, which is the
Mhm.
Asian Real Estate Association.
Mhm.
And for the Miami chapter for 2021 and the board of directors for Marina Blue for the building that I live in. So that's kind of cool. And then I'm also a mother to an 8-month-old baby, Bella. She's sleeping right now. But hopefully she'll be a little baby gator as well.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing, Bowie. And for our listeners, Bowie, you mentioned that Circle, you attended Circle, and that was remind me of the acronym, the Southeast Regional Conference of
Conference.
Asian American Leaders, right?
Yes.
And that conference, I think, may still go on. I'm not sure. However, I was also a participant of the Circle Conference as well when I was an undergrad. And you had also mentioned Kaleidoscope, which for our listeners, it stands for Asian Kaleidoscope Month. And it was the month-long celebration at UF of Asian and Asian American heritage and culture. And so, Bowie, we'd love to find out what moment during your time, or maybe it was before you left, maybe it was during Circle, or we want to know what moment or time period during your time at UF did you feel like a Florida Gator, that you were so proud to be part of UF and the Gator Nation?
Wow. So I think just like a background story to how I became a Gator, I attended Girl State, which is sponsored by the American Legion Auxiliary. And that's a program, it's an educational program held in Tallahassee. And it teaches you about state government. So I went there for a few days, and it's at the FSU campus. And I knew that's when I knew I was not a Seminole. So I knew I had to get into UF. So I applied to UF and got in. And actually, what when I felt like I was a Gator was actually through preview.
Hmm.
So everyone has to go through preview.
Right.
but it's like a never ending sleepover.
Yes.
And you get to hang out with new people. I think it kind of opened my eyes up to what UF really was like.
Yeah. And this
Um,
was during the time where we had to do our schedules by hand with the catalog,
yes,
right?
yes, by hand. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. So I called up my mom, like, hey, what should I put? Things
Yeah.
like that. She's like, put pharmacy. And I'm like, okay, I'll put, but wait, I don't want to do pharmacy. And then so, eventually I put pharmacy down.
Yeah.
And I didn't end up doing pharmacy. So I think the
Hmm.
average at that time was you switch majors like 7 times before you figure out or finally graduate with something.
You get an
Uh,
extra certificate once you reach 7.
yeah, exactly. So I think I think the whole experience, like that was the most I think that's what pulled everything together because you have the Gator games that are very exciting,
Yeah.
and everything like that. It's just so much. And I got to spend time with my two friends from high school at UF, Katie and
Hmm.
Katie,
Hmm.
and just in the dorms, going out every weekend and just having fun. And so the whole UF experience, that was the beginning of it, was preview, because it's like the night you spend away from your parents
Right,
and you
right.
get to do whatever you want, kind of, right? So
Yeah.
yeah.
So now that you are a proud mother of baby Bella, who you also hope will go to UF in the future, I think what she'd be class of 2040. Oh my God.
Oh.
Class of 2040. What is your hope, for UF, for the Gator Nation by the time Bella goes to college?
Well, I definitely hope that it is still offered in person,
Hmm.
especially with the way things are going now. COVID has definitely changed a lot of things. Everything's online based. I definitely feel like if I were to send her to college, it would definitely be like you go and you do your thing and you meet lots of people. So my advice to future Gators or
Hmm.
current Gators would be to definitely make friends.
Yeah.
Get through your coursework, great. Take the time, build relationships while you're at UF, join organizations that interest you,
Yeah.
but more importantly, surround yourself with people that you admire or enjoy being around. I think
Hmm.
those people will likely be your foundation or network after college.
Yeah.
Like Philip here, we actually haven't spoken in how many years, and then recently we
Yeah.
started talking again. So it's definitely, I think, very important, the relationships you build, the friendships you build through college, because that's what takes you on further after graduation.
Yeah. Yeah, it has been a very, quite a long time since we've spoken, but I think that now that we've reconnected again, it feels, just the same. And
Yeah.
actually, Bowie with her prestigious real estate career has influenced me and also encouraged me to go into real estate as well. So I thank you for that.
Yay! I'm so excited. And anyone else that is looking into getting into real estate, you can always DM me. Is that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Private message, direct message.
Email, snail mail.
Get in contact with Bowie.
Yeah.
Bowie, before we end tonight, do you have any shout outs, whether to people or maybe like certain places at UF or just things that you want to shout out to?
Oh, shout out to Marston Library, because that's where I used to work.
Hmm.
And also shout out to, I have some friends that I wanted to shout out to:
Yeah, go
Vanessa
for it.
Kwong, Jambu, Tiffany, Whitney, William Mack, Kelvin Kwan, Monica, Tony Law, who I think would be an interesting person to interview, Lisa Law, Pam, and Majel. So tag, you guys are it. Hopefully one of them will be next on this podcast. And also, go Gators!
Woo, go Gators. Thank you, Bowie, for the interview and joining our show tonight. I hope you have a good night. Stay safe, everyone. Go Gators.
Thank you, Philip. Go Gators!